Um, that's a great podcast, by the way. If you all haven't watched it,
It is very good. That is one of my go-tos with Pod Meets World and of course Office Ladies.
well, it's actually interesting because I started watching. Like, I think I fell off. It's Always Sunny after a while. I don't even remember like the last newest season I watched. But we started to start watching it over again.
Oh, so there's like two really bad seasons, but these last two have been really good.
The first, so it's weird because of the aspect ratio is 4:3, and it's 720p.
Yeah, it looks so much better like that.
No, it doesn't.
Shut up.
No, it doesn't. Don't lie. So you're on Windows 11 now, Andrew.
I am on Windows 11
Why?
now.
What made you jump to like? Why did you have to go to that?
I was basically held hostage until I did. So basically, man, Lily.
She's got some opinions on this Windows 11 stuff.
So one morning, I lost Discord. It just completely deleted itself.
Uh huh.
And then I didn't have the Elgato control panel center for my key lights.
Right.
So I was like, well, duh, if I see them, they're listed on my programs, I'll just remove them and then reinstall them.
Okay.
It was not that simple. And apparently mine went so deep, it went past what people have experienced online. So basically, I ended up having to like go through all these different commands in a terminal just to remove all of Discord, all of the Elgato program.
Oh no.
And then when I tried to reinstall it, it was like completely borked. I couldn't do anything. And so it's like, okay, well, I've really shot myself in the foot now. I was like, well, maybe it's Discord, maybe it's Elgato, maybe it's not me. So I tried other computers, installed and downloaded with no issues, no problems. I was like, I'm running out of ideas, and Todd mentioned, might as well go to 11.
No, did you do a
man.
fresh install or
Turn it
did
to
you
11.
you do an upgrade?
Upgrade.
Oh, you did a roll of the dice there.
I did. But as soon as it came back on, able to reinstall without issue.
Yeah, I initially did an upgrade, and then I was like, you know what, I'm having some, I guess lag is the best way to say it. And I was like, you know, let me just go the nuke route and start fresh, and I haven't regretted it. It's been working pretty well. The only thing I will say is that I just realized that. Oh, there's the chat. Okay. The taskbar on two monitors does not always sync up correctly. So on mine, for whatever reason, the left monitor, which isn't the primary, the icons will just be like spread out. So like on the taskbar, Slack will be right next to the clock, and there'll be a giant like 300 pixel gap between that and the next icon. And he does it so infrequently that I'm not like, oh, fuck, this is the end of the world. It is annoying, though, to look at monitor 1 and then look over to the left and try to click something and the fucking icon's in the wrong spot. Because it's just all over the place. The only fix is to either restart or to turn off the second taskbar and then turn it back on.
That's pretty annoying.
It is. But, I mean, it's not the biggest issue in the world. Other than that, it's been great. I haven't had any issues.
I have that Samsung G9, that
Right.
big honking one. So I don't see that. Like, as I'm looking at it right now, I don't see that. I do see, like, the spacing between icons is a little drastic.
Well,
No,
now you're running. Are you running any extra software to like split the screens? or do you just have it
no,
as
actually,
one screen?
The screen has a picture-in-picture ability on it, so I have to run two display ports cables, but yeah, I can do picture-in-picture on the one monitor.
So it still technically splits it into two.
It's still split into two. Like I'm doing the, what is it? Hang on, let me see. Windows P. I'm still extending the one monitor into two monitors.
Man, that's trippy. Is there like is there a fundamental reason why you did it that way, or is it just like maddening to try and do it on one screen?
Maddening to try and do it on one screen, and also so for some reason, whenever I run it as in one monitor altogether, whenever I start up the computer, it's a gamble on if the monitor will turn on automatically, or if I'm gonna have to press this one button a bunch of times until I get my image.
So it sounds like a graphics card issue at that point, or maybe I don't know.
Yeah, don't say that. 3070, please don't say that. No, it's something with the monitor itself. I know that it's some auto search thing that I could just turn off.
Hold on, let me ask you this: did the cables come with the monitor?
One did. The other one I bought from Micro Center.
Okay, I had a problem with my DisplayPort cable, and I found out that it wasn't certified. And I actually had to like go on Amazon to find it wasn't like crazy expensive, but I found a certified one because the very first HP monitor I got that was high refresh rate. The first time I dialed it up to 144 hertz, the monitor just didn't turn on. And it was because it wasn't pushing enough bandwidth through the cable, because DisplayLink is like notoriously finicky. It's not like as simple as HDMI. So even the cord length matters. Like if it's over 6 feet and it's not certified, you're gonna run into bad times.
So I have the DisplayPort cable I was using on the monitor I was using previously, which was for 1080p at 144 hertz.
Okay.
So this one in picture-in-picture mode is what they call it. It does 1440 at 100.
Okay.
So I was thinking it would be about the same.
Well, I mean, if it's working for you, by all means, I'm not suggesting you change it. But
Yeah.
if it's not, if that is the issue where it wasn't turning on, or if it was kind of a crapshoot, it's probably the cable's just not getting enough bandwidth.
And again, it's first world problem here.
Yeah, trust me.
I can, and whenever I do picture-in-picture, I get both sides of the monitor every time. So
yeah,
and most of the time. Sorry, there are times where it does kind of skip out on me, but
I mean,
just turn picture-in-picture off and then put it back on again, and it works.
I've had the same problem with my Mac at work. Like the Thunderbolt ports will be sometimes finicky. You can't just, like, for all intents and purposes, I should be able to just have one cable going to my Mac, and it should just turn on everything in one go. If you have it accidentally plugged into the wrong port, though, it doesn't have enough bandwidth, and then the cord has to be it's stupid. It's like
that's not the simplicity I expect from Apple.
Man,
no, it's not. It's not just Apple though. It's the dock itself and the standards. Like I could take a Windows machine that is the same thing. It'll experience the same exact issue. Because my coworker has a Windows machine, and he's tried to plug it in my setup before, and it just doesn't turn on.
I think we're losing Jim.
a lot of problems. Things like my VCR and Game Boy Advance don't have.
You ever had the time when your VCR just eats the tape itself, and then all that film gets jammed?
Do you remember how you're like, man, I really want to watch that film. Oh fuck, I gotta rewind it.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I
does your VCR have the turbo rewind, or is it just the basic
just
bitch?
Regular rewind, but you know what? I'm in no rush. I
mean,
take that
clearly,
time
you're
I take the time to
still
look around and appreciate the things that I have, like my VCR. And
that I
it
helped
doesn't
you
have
get.
to be instant. It doesn't have to be instantaneous.
I still remember the time I texted you. I was like, "Hey, are you looking for that fucking VCR?" You're like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, it's that good, bro. Go get it." You're like, "Okay, cool." I'm an
I'm
ableist.
so
man.
jealous of your VCR. I can't believe how foolish I am to want
I mean,
the picture quality
I have
you know.
one in my office
Hmm?
only because it has the convert to DVD function. And my parents at one point were like, "Oh, let's convert our home movies." You ever have one of those projects where you're like, "Yeah, I'll get to that at some point," and then you come home on the weekend, and you're like, "You know what? I'm just gonna put this off to the side. I'll do it next weekend." That's been like 2 years now.
That's my new issue for summer 2022 animes that I've been working on diligently. And there's air quotes, you can't see that, but I've been working diligently on that.
Yeah,
Out when it's out.
I'm actually shocked last weekend that we started the Sandman, and we actually went all the way through the entire series over the weekend, which is not something we usually do. Like, I'll be watching a show and I have like a hard cap at 3 episodes per night, and I'm like,
Oh
all
man,
right,
good for you, man.
I was like, we're
I got
done.
one. I can do one.
I do two episodes.
I saw a movie the other night.
What did you watch?
I went to the movie theater.
Oh,
Ow, look at Mr. Hollywood over here.
what an
I
experience!
did. I went to the movie theater. I went to Cinemark.
Oh my god,
Wow.
I didn't even go to Alamo.
that's I mean,
So I take
but
it
it's like
Alamo wasn't showing it.
$5. It's like $5 matinee on Tuesdays.
Oh, that's why.
I mean, that's hard
I'm
to
an
beat.
adult.
That's hard to beat.
Can you guess what I saw?
Well, let's pull up Cinemark
Nope.
movies that are out.
Correct.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Yeah, I saw.
you did see
I saw
Nope.
Nope.
Okay, how was it?
I enjoyed it quite a bit.
'Cause I've heard middling things about this one.
And I feel like all the Jordan Peele movies have that sort of like either people don't get it. Go ahead.
So Get Out for me was really good.
Oh,
Really enjoyed it. That was actually fantastic. I didn't like Us as much.
I mean, I didn't like Us as much as Get Out either. I still really liked Us, but I didn't like it as much as Get Out.
Like the kind of twist that they did with it, I thought or rather that he did with it, was pretty good.
That spoiler alert. Andrew, have you seen Us?
It was already spoiled for me, so.
Okay. Well, I'm not. Spoiler warning. It's been out for several years now, but that scene where the two families are face to face in the house,
Right.
and having that conversation, that's like one of the best. Like, I don't know what it's called in a movie, but like not a dialogue, but like a conversation. I think I may have ever seen in a movie. It's so good.
Oh, a fireside chat. I believe that's what they call it in the pictures.
Is that true? I didn't know that. Okay, well,
No.
there you go then. Oh.
It's just a really
But
good dialogue
it
scene.
was, it was definitely like, it definitely had some moments where it was like shit, but it was like a slow burn. And then when the flame went off, it was just like there was nothing scary. Like, I wasn't physically scared.
Okay.
But it was just still so fucking cool.
Was it billed as a horror movie? I thought it was more of a thriller.
I didn't really watch the build-up. I just, and unfortunately now, and this is my fault, I just assume if it's Jordan Peele, it's going to be a horror movie.
I feel like that's safe to say.
It was a thriller, though. You're correct. It was a sci-fi thriller.
I
Yeah,
might be
it's-
saying that because I know, and again, I feel like it was spoiled for me too, where I know what the threat is. I guess
Mm-hmm.
the best way to put it. So, but yeah,
Nothing got spoiled to me. But what the and I won't say it because it is still very new. What the twist is, I was not ready for. I did not see it coming.
So like the whole family.
Oh.
I'm not going to even suggest this. Actually, I was about to say something, and I was like, we just
wait,
not.
okay, yeah, I might not know what it is then because I thought my idea was real simple.
So here's the thing. It is simple, but it's just so weird that it's not something that my brain could conceive of beforehand. And I don't think Alyssa got it either. And she usually is almost perfect with guessing the twists of movies.
That's Julia too.
That's
She'll be
like a wife
she'll
thing.
literally just be like, "This is what's gonna happen," and like moments later.
Yeah, and I don't think she saw it with Nope, and so we both really enjoyed it. You go to Cinemark, and we had bought our tickets ahead of time, and I definitely sat next to a gentleman that didn't smell very pleasant. So that
as happens on a Tuesday.
That was a bummer. But other than that, and I don't think that that family that sat next to us liked the movie very much. As they were just kind of
said
talking.
nope.
Yeah, they said nope.
They said no.
Somebody said that as we were walking out, and then somebody booed them.
As the listeners did when I said it.
Oh my goodness.
But it was very good. I have not kept track of all the movies I've seen this year. I probably should have, but I haven't. But out of the 4 movies I have seen in the theater this year, I would rank it second.
So what was the best?
Unless
you've already said it.
Batman.
Oh, Bimmin.
Yeah.
Yeah, Batman was pretty good. Batman was also the last film I saw in theaters.
And then I thought the Jurassic Park movie was decent, so that was 3.
Jeez. That was like Jim's like that was like Jim's like dirty little like secret. Like he was just like, oh god, I'm seeing Jurassic World Dominion. Ugh.
I didn't care about it. Like that's like Alyssa's favorite franchise, so I knew we were gonna go see it.
Listen, I would like to refer to you to the chat, if I may, because I remember you inserting a vomiting emoji into that.
Oh, I was. You're right. I wasn't excited to see it, but I was going to see it. I didn't have a problem with it. I just thought I went into it with this is gonna suck, and thankfully that helped because I went out like happy. I was fine.
Although I did on July 13th.
Yes.
Jurassic World, not bad. It was...
But I also have not seen the movie that came out previous to this one.
Oh, that one was pretty rough.
And I'm also at the point where, and I'll be honest with you, it's not a hot take. Y'all probably are aware of this. It's been so long since I've seen a Marvel movie. I don't think I'll ever watch another Marvel movie again.
So we watched the Doctor Strange one.
Have not seen the new one.
And then I know we're waiting for Thor to come on Disney Plus. I'm only interested in that because it's a Taika Waititi film, to be honest with you.
That is cool. I like that. Do you want to know why? And I liked the last Thor movie.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah,
I thought it was very good. I don't know if everybody likes that movie, but I thought it was very good.
Oh, it's probably my It's definitely one of my favorites. I think we had talked ranking wise. Like Iron Man was my favorite, and then Ragnarok
Iron Man
was.
1 is my favorite too. Yeah.
I think Ragnarok was my second favorite.
I almost agree with that. I really liked the first Doctor Strange movie.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's of the two reviews that Todd has done for the site, both have been Doctor Strange.
Oh, that's so funny. But you know, there's so much that I'm not willing to just watch, and so it's just gonna be something that passes me by.
Well, I tell you that the let me see. MCU Phase 5 and 6, which
I
first
was
off,
so underwhelmed. Like, how are you guys not just tired of it yet?
so
I mean, I'm almost there, but there's some things that keep me going. Like, oh, okay, well, because again, you know, I like the weird heroes. So Moon Knight
Same,
was a
I'm
big
with
one
you.
for me, but Daredevil, I love Daredevil.
True.
So
Me too.
I will.
yeah, Daredevil coming back was cool. I mean, that's
Oh,
something.
I watched the best Punisher movie, Punisher Warzone, the other night.
Yeah, that is a good one.
That's a
So,
great one.
like looking at this chart, there's the third Ant-Man movie. There's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which I'm not interested in. Secret Invasion maybe, but it's kind of confusing.
I liked
'cause-
that storyline.
Well,
I did like this.
here's the confusing bit. They're doing a TV show, okay? But then in Phase 6, I think they're doing Avengers Secret Invasion. So it's like I don't
They did that shit in the comics too, though, because I was reading a lot of Marvel at the time,
Oh.
and they to keep up with the Secret Invasion,
You had to read a lot.
you had to buy a lot, and
Yeah.
they did that shit on purpose, you know.
Oh, of
Yeah,
course.
'cause I thought the whole thing was to do like a whole new toy line. I thought that's where that kind of sparked
If
from.
that was the case, I don't remember seeing any toys, but I remember buying a shit ton of comic books, 15 years ago.
So,
Okay, uh-huh.
but they're calling this the Multiverse Saga.
Yeah, which you'll, if you don't know anything about Skrulls or the Secret Invasion and what it is, like that will make sense.
Well, I'm saying that's what they're calling Phase 4 through 6 is the Multiverse Saga.
God. Take a
So-
Yeah,
break.
it's like the next 10 years, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
I'll be 45 years old.
2025 at least. And I'm just looking at like the list, like Loki season 2 I'm interested in because I loved Loki.
Didn't watch it.
I think Blade could be interesting. There's some of these that are like standalone to me that it'd be interested in, like the new, because Daredevil's coming back, like he's getting his own show again.
Cool.
I don't really care about Fantastic Four.
Nah.
I really don't care about the next two Avengers movies.
Ooh. I definitely don't. Did you? So, probably about 15 years ago, there was a comic called FF. And basically, the Fantastic Four get called to another planet to deal with like this issue, and it was going to take them several months.
Okay.
But they couldn't leave. They couldn't leave the city just abandoned.
Right.
So they hired like replacements. And they were like, if you ordered the Fantastic Four on Wish,
Oh no.
it was one of my favorite comic book runs of all time.
This is where the bag man comes from?
Yes, it's so fucking weird. It's so fucking weird. The art is so weird, but oh my god, is it so enjoyable? I would be into that.
Interesting.
I like the guy they got for Blade. He's good. He's a real good actor.
Blade is a terrible comic book character, but I like the concept.
Did you see any of Luke Cage?
No.
So he played a villain in that. But spoiler, because it doesn't matter anymore. That he passed away in like the middle of the season. Now he gets to be a whole nother character, the same actor.
Oh, sheesh.
Luke Cage is terrible.
Yeah. I will say, and you know, some motherfuckers always trying to skate uphill, or I skate uphill. Favorite Blade line.
So hard
Triple
pivot.
H is in the third Blade movie, right?
Yeah.
Hard pivot. How do you all feel about Goku having a gun in a video game?
I mean, they already gave Naruto a gun. Who cares?
I don't care. It doesn't.
Yeah.
nothing
At this
is
point,
sacred.
you're not anything unless you're in a Fortnite game.
Do you
I
care?
guess.
Do you care if Batman has a gun? Because I don't.
Was he in?
Oh no, I'm just saying.
I feel like he
Does
was
that, like-
though.
No, I don't think Batman is.
Oh, in Fortnite, I have no idea. I fucking have no idea.
Yes.
I can
He
only
was?
imagine every single pop culture thing is Fortnite.
Yeah.
Is there WWE?
Batman-
Fortnite? Like, that has to exist, right?
Batman
John
Zero
Cena just became a skin.
arrives to Fortnite Island.
Oh, well, there you go. Now you got Batmans with guns. So
Harley
Like,
Quinn
again,
was in
it's-
there too. Also, the Joker sequel, Joker, I can't pronounce it. Folie à Deux. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it.
Fallout
Foadolu.
The Fall Out Boy album.
Yes, that's all I remember it from. I think that's a great call. It's gonna be a musical, allegedly.
I'm all about that. That's how you bring people like me back in. Make it fucking weird. Don't make it the same shit over and over and over again. Complicated, up the ass storylines. 17-hour-long fucking movie.
But we gotta tell the story about how
not
they're
everything
this
needs an
way.
origin story.
So we gotta. How are you gonna
No.
know? You're not gonna enjoy it if you don't have that.
How are you
exposition.
going to explain that Margot Robbie isn't Harley Quinn in this universe?
Don't
'Cause we
give a
got
shit. Cast
Lady
somebody
Gaga. Who
else.
cares?
Who gives a shit?
Oh my lord! Y'all don't
it's
like Harley
just-
Quinn?
No. I like Harley Quinn. Harley
You don't
Quinn's
like
fine.
Margot Robbie as Harley
I like
Quinn?
Margot Robbie. Margot Robbie is the star of one of my favorite movies of all time. Like I like, they're fine.
Okay,
Really
I
like that
just
Barbie
don't,
movie?
I just don't care if they're not playing those people anymore. Don Cheadle replaced Howard Jones. What's his name?
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard.
Howard
He's got the
Jones.
best math out
And
there.
who gives a shit?
Listen, I would argue that Don Cheadle was such an upgrade over Terrence
Well,
Howard.
yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Holy
Because
shit.
apparently, and I'm sure this is common knowledge.
The money.
Terrence Howard's like a dick.
Yeah.
Terrence
Oh
Howard
yeah.
is crazy. He invented his own math.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
I
No,
mean-
no.
Please.
He claims that 1 × 1 = 2.
Yeah, and he's got like a whole website dedicated to it. And he's like, this is how I figured it out. I mean, listen, that's what happens when you have money and you can just stay home all day and just go, man, wouldn't that be some shit if 1 + 1 didn't equal 2?
That's some like if you told me Kanye said that shit, like I'd be like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, I'm going to break your brain here. If 1 × 1 = 1, that means that 2 is of no value because 1 times itself has no effect. 1 × 1 = 2 because the square root of 4 is 2, so what's the square root of 2? Should be 1, but we're told it's 2, and that cannot be.
No, it's not breaking my brain. It's just fucking stupid. It's just nonsense talk. Lily knows more math than Terrence Howard does. Like,
I mean, I don't know. Well, hold on now. We're not suggesting that he doesn't know math. What he's done is that he's taken his fundamental knowledge of math and fucked it
And complicated it.
and said, I'm a smart man. This is a smart man's logic here. And like, if you read it, there's a lot of smart words in here.
You ever listen to Ben Shapiro talk, man? It's a lot of smart words there.
But it all means nothing.
No. Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro's wife went to the zoo the other day, and she said she saw a sign that said, "Caution, you might get wet," and she was like, "Oh my god, finally."
Is that a joke? Is that still a joke?
That's a good one.
I kind of pivoted off of a tweet I saw earlier, but yeah, sure. I'll totally claim that as my joke.
I like it. Good
Oh
job.
man, going to be a stand-up comedian one day. Let me tell you.
You could just work on the delivery. You could be the next Mitch Hedberg.
So actually, one of my favorite delivery methods for comedians is when they just are so like deadpan and dry. They'll just say it, and then you'll be like, "Oh my god, did they actually just fucking say what I think they just said?"
Anthony Jeselnik.
Yes.
Seen him in forever, but he was one of those where it was like
He's very funny.
Oh, he's very funny, and it's just very quick punchline jokes, but it's just said in the just driest.
So James Acaster, he's a British comedian. Shocker that I'm recommending a British comedian.
God save the Queen.
I think he has a couple of like specials on Netflix. If you ever get a chance to watch it, it's pretty fucking good. He actually got in a giant fight with his next door neighbor over cabbages. And his next door neighbor is
incredibly British.
His next door neighbor is like a 10-year-old kid. Like it just started because like one day the kid like had a cabbage that he pulled from his parents' garden, and he just put it on his bed. And he's like, "Okay, all right, cool. Well, let me put 2 cabbages on your bed." And they would just like sneak into each other's rooms and fucking put and eventually at one point there's like 45 cabbages just spread across this kid's room, and he's like, "I can't deal with this anymore."
It reminds me of the guy that he'd put I
the
don't
ducks.
remember his name. It was the ducks. Thank you.
Yeah, apparently he had like a sexual like lawsuit against him though.
Who's that?
He's famous. If you look on YouTube, he started off with he responds back to spam emails. And like that was his whole thing. He's like, I'm wasting spammers' time. Hold on, let me see if I can find the dude's name.
It's
Real
James
quick,
Veitch.
I got a good one. Hold on.
Yeah.
James Veitch.
I once went on a date with a girl where we went hiking, and she gets bit by a snake in between her toes, and I had to suck out the poison. So she's dead. That's Anthony Jeselnik.
I love Anthony Jeselnik. It's so good.
Oh yeah.
I've spent the past 2 years looking for my ex-girlfriend's killer, but no one will do it.
So, unfortunately.
Oh yeah! Wow, I'm looking up Veitch or whatever his name is.
September 2020, more than a dozen women who attended Sarah Lawrence College came forward with allegations against him ranging from emotional abuse to rape.
Who is
James Veitch.
I don't even know who this is.
It's funny too because he's like a little scrawny looking dude. So
Yeah, but like it's that power trip, right? You're just like you can just imagine him going.
I have never seen or heard of this person before, ever.
I mean, if you're gonna look for him, look for like the Conan show. Like, don't give him views on his YouTube channel.
I was gonna say I'm good. I'm not gonna even. This is it. This is the last thing I'll ever say about him.
that's all you need to know of him, right?
That's pretty much it. I don't know. It's so shitty. Like you like find something, you really like it, and all of a sudden you find out something terrible about it.
I mean, there's so many professional wrestlers that we follow.
Professional wrestlers, yes. I have I have a picture on my phone of Andrew with a very canceled professional wrestler.
Yeah,
oh goodness.
I hate looking at it.
I have a picture with a canceled professional wrestler. Like it just is what it is. I am a fan of black metal, half of black metal are Nazis. I have to now, every time I get into a band, I have to like research if they have any ties to things like NSBM and Nazism and shit like that.
What's the last band that you had to vet?
It was I can tell you exactly who it fucking was. It was the band Abagor.
Abagor. Do you do like on Twitter at Abagor? Hey,
are you Nazis?
Are you Nazis are cool.
So luckily, I'm not the only person who thinks like me, and there's an entire Reddit.
Great
subreddit that is all. Is this band sketchy?
Wait, what's the Reddit? What's the Reddit name?
It's if you go to Reddit, it's where is it? It's R. I think it's r/Reddit r/RABM.
What the fuck does that stand for? Red and anarchist black metal.
Yeah.
A subreddit for sharing music by radical left-wing black metal and blackened crust bands, as well as discussion of said bands in related music and politics.
But if you look at their pinned Reddit post, it's like, is this band sketch part 3?
In an effort to move this place from being so reactionary, is it sketch? Sort of shit. Oh man, that's pretty good.
So were they?
I like it. Yeah.
Aw, damn it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of why I've had to rethink, because originally, I've been kind of teasing. I was thinking about getting a Norse tattoo, and my wife was like, "Listen, listen, you probably don't want to do that." And I was like, that sucks.
Paganism, which is so embossed with Nordic, symbols and legends and whatnot. And now paganism has got this weird Aryan purity thing, which is why all these fucking black metal bands are racist as shit. They're like,
wait. So, but I still have to say Merry Christmas. What the fuck?
Oh, I mean, this is the land of the Christian. Andrew, did you not know that?
Well, Christmas isn't Christian. It's pagan.
No. Yes, okay. Let's take a step back.
Oh, I'm right.
We know that. We know. But Christianity, or I'll say radical Christians, because not all Christians are bad.
No, definitely not.
Let's say 98%. Are bad.
Oh, man.
Losing that audience. Deal with it. They're just like, oh, Christmas is being fucking taken away, or blah, blah, blah. I'm like, listen. It's kind of like... I used to work for a Jewish family, and basically I learned quite a lot about the Jewish faith and all that jazz, because clearly I didn't know that much before I started working for them. So I didn't know about holidays, why they were taking certain holidays, what they were doing for, what do they do for Christmas? Obviously not Christmas, right? It's Hanukkah. But what do they do during Christmas while everybody else? Fun fact: they just go to movie theaters. That's their.
Oh, I thought it was go to a Chinese restaurant.
No, yeah. I mean, yes, also that. That's because that's the only thing that's open. But talking to them, I was like, so, are you guys ever offended if someone's Merry Christmas to you? And they're like, no, it's not a big deal. It is what it is. I was like, did you prefer people to say Happy Holidays? And they're like, honestly, we don't give a shit. You celebrate however you want it, to me, saying Happy Holidays is just a blanket, hey, I wish for you to have a good season.
That's
funny
to me, because I had in my neighborhood where I was growing up with my parents, I had a friend who her family were Jehovah's Witnesses. And,
that's a fascinating thing to read up on.
Yeah, I remember going to their house on Halloween, and I'm like, hey, you guys aren't doing anything? And they're like, we don't do that.
Yeah. In fact, I think like holidays in general are like frowned upon.
No, they don't celebrate birthdays. They don't celebrate any of that shit.
Which is
Yeah,
sad.
and I was like in middle school, and they're like giving me a hard time. It's like, motherfucker, I didn't know a Jehovah's Witness
It was
until y'all.
psychotic. I got a letter because they during COVID they couldn't go door to door. Which I got to be honest with you, good for them for recognizing that. So they started sending letters to people and so I got like 2 of them.
So, question for you: what did the letter say? Because I got in the mail, and this was very strange. It was a letter from someone in Austin, and I don't know why I put so much emphasis on Austin just now.
It, like the British.
No, it's
England
like
way.
Boston.
But it's like the British that's
Austin.
like supposed to go to Australia because you committed some kind of crime.
Sure. But I got a letter in the mail, and they're like, we hope that you and your wife are having a joyous occasion and that you will find the light of Christ in your heart. And I look at this and I'm like, well, first off, how do you know I have a wife? Second off, I don't know who the fuck this is. Where did this come from? How do you know who I am? It was just very creepy to me.
Well, they probably looked at like filings of.
I'm sure.
Especially if it's coming from Austin. That's the state capital.
We got to go back to Austin.
They have access to public records like that. They probably have thousands. They probably send that shit to everybody who gets married.
Oh, pro tip: if you all ever decide to like file for a like state sales tax permit, do not under any circumstances put your actual phone number on that bitch.
Yep.
Because you will get inundated for months. So people are like, hey, do you need a website? Do you need an app developed? Oh, I do business cards. Do you do for months? Your phone will be ringing off the hook.
That is my Twitter for my personal channel. It is filled with nothing but quote unquote graphic artist.
Gracious.
I found a website that's basically like Canva, where you can just make little edits and like on an already made layout, and boom, there you go. Here's your graphic. That'll be $200, please.
Yeah, I mean, and it's the thing. Like I used to. I still technically freelance. I definitely don't look for new customers. Like I have an existing client base that I still help with, and that's it. I'm not actively looking, but occasionally my LinkedIn, because I still have it listed on there, people message me like, hey, does your firm need help with things and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, it's hard for me to go on LinkedIn because like, what the fuck is this? We have a few virtual assistants with expertise in graphic design and social media who have available time right now. Would you like to talk to them? And I'm like, no, I don't need a virtual assistant. And then since I started working at Academy, oh my god, as soon as that went on my profile, I had people left and right messaging me about like, hey, do you need a fucking help with your business? No, I don't. Please leave me alone. For the love of God.
I got an email today that said, hey, we saw your profile on Indeed. Thought you'd be a great match for the enlist and become an IT help desk technician opportunity.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's better than getting fucking come sell insurance for me.
I that's the one thing I will put a bullet in my brain before I sell insurance.
I'd have to be something would have to happen that would not allow me to do anything else before I do that. I would work retail again before I'd go sell insurance.
Not that there's anything wrong with insurance people. I know insurance person.
I know insurance people.
But I couldn't do it.
But
definitely couldn't do it.
Nope, not at all.
Yeah, it's just, I'm very rarely on there. And I actually probably need to take the app off my phone just because of the amount of messages I get on there.
Turn the notifications off.
I'm real bad about that. Like, I know I should.
Geoff lives for notifications. Like,
No,
Really?
it's not that I live for notifications. I'm too lazy to go in the app to silence them.
I hate so many notifications.
Listen, I'll tell you, whenever I got a new phone, my chief priority was to download everything I needed. Then I would spend the next like 2 hours meticulously placing things on my home screen, making sure I had my widget set up, my ringtone was set up, notifications were turned off, all that jazz. I got the iPhone and I stopped caring. I literally was just like, I don't even care anymore. And it took me forever to even get custom, like, just sounds on there for my alarm clock. For like 2 to 3 years, I just used the basic alarm sounds.
wait. How do you not log in with your profile and all that shit just be there?
What do you mean?
So anytime I get a new phone, I just log in with my Google account, and all that shit just transfers over as is. I don't have to change a thing.
I don't know what you're talking about. Like your widgets and stuff?
Everything. Home screen, wallpaper,
Yeah,
ringtones,
that's the same,
all that.
Same thing with me with an Android phone. Yeah, I just log in with
that
my
can't
account.
just be an Android thing.
But it's because I always start from scratch.
You don't back up and then...
No.
Why?
Well, this sounds like it's more on you now.
Wait,
Well, no. It's
you know how much
lit-
trouble that
hold,
saves?
hold on. Okay. Let me just throw this out here. This was not an inconvenience for me to start from scratch. I chose to do that. In fact, I did it on purpose because what happens for me anyways is eventually I just download apps and I never use them and then I forget to uninstall them and then eventually it just becomes easier, just like the Windows thing we were talking about earlier. Just nuke the whole thing, start from scratch.
Hold on. Can I ask you a question?
Okay.
And I'm not trying to make this a thing. Like, this is better than that. Your phone surely has like the ability to look at your most and least used apps.
Yeah, if
Correct.
I wanted to.
Think about the time that you've just described doing all those things.
All those things 4 years ago.
Okay.
I haven't done it since I got the phone.
All right. You very much sound like my father right now.
Why? Why does that bother you so
my dad
much?
is just like just do it for me. I don't want it. Give me a flip phone.
I'm not complaining though. You make it sound like I'm complaining.
No, you're right. You're not complaining. I'm just saying things could be easier for you. For somebody who gets on me about like listening to analog shit.
Okay.
Analog stuff.
But
hold on.
okay.
Hold on. For somebody who gives me shit about that, you can make your shit a whole lot easier. Too.
But I'm
just
not.
saying.
I'm not. It's not about making it easier. It's about like decluttering for me.
Okay.
It sounds like
you
that feeling we get, Jim, whenever we get like a brand new board game and we just start punching out cardboard pieces. It's almost like therapeutic for
Okay, I understand that.
Yeah. Yes. Having a fresh slate is like very cathartic for me. Now let me be clear that before I really cared about that stuff, having everything. So yes, absolutely. When I went from phone to phone to phone, I cared about having that backup because I didn't want to have to deal with installing everything and blah, blah, blah. Like, I get that. When I went to iPhone, for whatever reason, that care of having everything that I had previously just went away. And I was just like, you know what? Let me just start from scratch.
You submitted to your masters. I got it.
No, I wouldn't even say that.
I'm sorry. No, but you got a point. So here's my point though. every time, the last couple of times that I have gotten a new phone,
Uh-huh.
I haven't had that like new phone feeling. And maybe it's because I literally am just logging in and I'm fucking done. Set it up. There's my new phone ready to go.
I guess, I mean, it's different for everybody, right? Like, for instance, we were talking about going, like, Andrew went from 10 to 11, and he did an upgrade. And that's a choice, right? You can obviously do that. It was designed to do that. I find, especially if it's going from a phone that's running an older version of Android or an older version of iOS, and bringing, I would consider, we'll say clutter for lack of a better word, over to that new phone, you start to experience things like there's a lot of apps that, like, for instance, that I wouldn't use anymore, and that, yes, I could easily go on there and uninstall it. For me, the sheer volume of those apps compared to the ones I actually use as a daily driver, it's just easier for me to grab the daily driver apps and then worry about anything else I might need down the line. So I actually am a very I guess adaptive app installer. Like, I don't actively look at the app store if I'm in an area where, like, okay, hey, download our app to do this thing. I'll download it then and there. I don't do it like in advance. Like, for instance, the Disney app, which I haven't used in 3 years or 2 years at this point. I just left on my phone, but now I'm going back to Disney at the end of the month, so I'm going to be using that again, like, frequently.
You're going to Disney and Universal is like right there.
Universal, I am saving for. I have a couple of friends that I promised I would go there with a very long time ago. And this is this is what Julia is calling my farewell kidney tour. So we're doing an impromptu. We did an impromptu trip. Wonderful wife. She was like, you know what? I think we should go somewhere. We talked about it for a little bit. Found a pretty good deal through Costco. And we're going there for like 3 days at the end of the month.
Goodbye, kidney.
Yeah. She was like, I'm thinking about getting you a shirt that says farewell kidney tour.
And have it have fucking tour dates on the back.
Right.
Do it have like a metal logo.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be pretty great, right? So,
Geoff, you're losing your kidney. How do you feel about that?
it hasn't really bothered me that much. It kind of does though, because I'm one of those people that will have a backup of things, like in case the first one goes out.
Yeah, it's your backup hard drive.
Yeah. Right. Like, real talk, for a very long time when I got the PlayStation 5, I didn't get the warranty on it because I was just like, oh, yeah, whatever. And then I just let it sit there for like a year, and I'm like, oh, no, what if this thing just, like, is one of the bad, like, batch that, like, it just won't turn on one day. I seriously considered buying an extra PlayStation 5 because they were so scarce, and they're still technically so scarce. Just to have it in the box, just in case. So, like, it's kind of scary because, like, they literally are like, listen, if you have one kidney, it'll function just fine, which is great to hear. And then they're like, oh, but now you got to be careful about what you do. So, like, you can't do martial arts. You can't do, like, contact sports or anything like that, which, let me tell you, I was doing so much of on the weekends.
I was about to say, man.
Well, but for a while I did do kickboxing and right. Krav. So it's not unheard of.
No?
But they're like, yeah, if you're going to do that now, you have to wear, like, serious padding, and you have to be really super careful, because if you damage that other kidney, that's it. And I'm like, well,
let me, there aren't, like, of all the organs that can be transplanted, isn't, like, the kidney like a relatively easy one? Like,
so
if something were to happen,
so
I could
it's
be like,
so
I
it's
could go to the doctor
easy.
and be like, am I a match?
It's easy but there's several problems with it. First off, you have to be at a certain weight.
Okay.
You have to meet certain medical qualifications before they'll even consider putting you on the list.
Mm.
And then you're on the list, and the list could take years for
But
you to
what
even
if-
get to the top.
Say one of us was like, "I'll give you my kidney if I'm a match."
So yes, obviously there is that path. Like there's a direct donor path. But then you have to also meet certain medical qualifications. And it becomes like a hazy thing of like, okay, well, you have to be like a perfect match, and
Right.
you know, your health has to be good. Like what if then they have to test your kidney function, and all of a sudden like, well, what if you have bad kidney function in one of your
Sure.
kidneys? So it just becomes like this huge thing. And the only reason I even am like remotely aware of this is because my mom, like at the age of 42, had kidney failure in both kidneys, just out of the blue. Couldn't explain why. She actually has a medical paper written about her because she's like such an anomaly.
Ah.
Wow.
And this is like one of those weird cases where they're like, well, we're not really sure what caused this. There's like a 10% chance it's not cancer, and that's fine. You know, it was weird though at one point because the surgeon's like, well, let's just do a biopsy. We'll see if it's cancer, and if not, we'll just pull it out. And I'm like, so, but if we pull it out now, and they're going to test to see if it's cancer, I was like, it's a pretty large mass. Like, couldn't we just take it out just because? Because it's occupying more than half of the kidney. Like that kidney function is reduced already.
Right.
So it's like, why not just yank it out? It's going to be cool. We get 5 incisions. One will be right above my belly button. That's how they'll actually take it out. They'll take it out with a bag.
Fucking gross.
Yeah, but I'll have 3 robot arms inside of me.
I was about to say a robot is doing it, right?
3 robot arms will be in there with like a camera, doing its thing.
Andrew and I will be there to live tweet it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing I'm most upset about, and this is what I was upset
Is
about.
that you can't be awake for it?
Not that specifically, because that would be horrifying. It's not being able to see it afterwards.
Oh, they can't video
No.
that shit?
I mean,
Why?
I'm sure they could.
Oh.
And maybe if I'm like real weird about it, I'm like, yo, show me that fucking shit. I need to put it on the goddamn internet. Gonna put it on my YouTube channel.
Isn't there like a shit ton of surgery videos on the internet?
Oh, I'm sure there is.
I'm sure there's like levels of consent and things you gotta sign on.
I was about to say, I can send you a suicide right now.
No, thank you. I'm good, man.
Wait, is that the fucking Budweiser bullshit?
That's not the one I was thinking of, but yeah, that's the obvious one. I
Damn
read
it.
about. I went on a deep dive about an individual who committed suicide, and it's a whole. I went on a deep dive the other night.
Yeah, no, it's definitely on one of my videos on my channel. Go check it out.
And if I'm being completely like candid and honest, like this is hitting a little bit harder than it did the last time.
Really?
Yeah, because it's one of those things where like, yeah, we're positive that it's not spread and all that jazz, but it's like it's the second go around in a year.
Yeah.
And you know, it's times like this where I'm like, man, maybe I should get some therapy, because I've had some thoughts that were not great.
I mean, I think everybody should, but as somebody who is a big proponent of that and does it himself, yes.
Like I had a talk with my wife last week. I was like, yeah, I've had some interesting thoughts, and it was very brief, but it did happen, and that's where I'm at right now. So, and I've never had those thoughts before, like ever.
Yeah, you've always been pretty on the up and up. But I think number one, I don't think anybody is on the up and up anymore, no matter how hard they like to hide it. I think everybody has.
With the way the world is now.
Yes,
I would
with
say
the way the
so.
world is the last couple of years, the isolation, like I think it's good to get those to get those thoughts, just even if it's just like to say them out loud, to like filter them out of your brain, and then just that makes me feel better. That's why I'm so brutally honest with people when it comes to like my mental health and my friends and whatnot, because if I don't say something, then it's just going to get worse, and it's going to get more intrusive, and it's going to get from the fleeting seconds of like, what if I was dead, to like, I should be dead.
Well, it's one of those things where you're kind of running the mental calculations, and you're like, you know what? It almost would be easier.
Yeah.
Almost.
Well,
And,
I'm here to tell you it wouldn't be. It wouldn't.
Yeah.
It sure as fuck wouldn't be easier for every single human being around you.
No. It's one of those things where like I've come to peace with that. It's
Yes.
Wow, what a way to get to the podcast.
Yeah. Sorry, everyone.
Feelings.
Sticks and boners.
Feelings are your friends. So yeah, that's gonna be a month from tomorrow. Will be the surgery.
Cool.
I know we're kind of like, oh, we made things awkward and whatever like that. I feel like personally, and then like I can't for you, but like I feel like if it was me, it would be good to get it out. So I hope that saying it and addressing it in a kind of public way kind of helps you a little bit.
Yeah, it does.
No?
I mean,
If it does,
that's one of those things where like I was the first go around, I didn't talk about it for a while. In fact, I think if you all remember, I was like, hey, this is the diagnosis. I'm getting treatment like next week, pretty much. And just kind of just dropped it in our Slack chat. This time I was like, you know what? Let me just kind of throw this out here to start with. And that's kind of what's happened.
Well, if you can hear my dog snoring.
No, it didn't.
That means we've thoroughly made things uncomfortable, but I think it was necessary.
Yeah, I mean, and again, like I know you're saying you feel good about it, and if anyone's listening, kind of felt lost or anything,
yeah,
I hope they found that.
That's one of those things where it's like you have to, like I said, you kind of have to do the mental calculation in your head, and then find anyone to talk to about it, and be like, listen, I had this thought, and I don't have that now. I mean, it would. It's just one of those things where like it was a brief moment where it's kind of like you're like sitting at the edge, and you're like, you know what? Have I done everything that I wanted to do? And they're like, well, I mean, I guess kind of. And then I don't know. It was almost like it was even like the other day. Like I've never done drugs personally, but it was like one of those moments the other day. I was like, man, maybe I should.
Hey, Oklahoma's just that way.
So I mean,
apparently it's super legal.
Yeah. I mean, like at this stage.
I mean, look. If it comes from the earth, man, I think you're good to go.
Yeah.
Nothing more hardcore than that.
I know somebody's brother who can definitely hook you up.
No, that might be that might be a thing afterwards. We'll see.
There you go.
So check out the podcast in April.
Whoa, I've got some wild stories to tell you guys. Whoa.
Man. Yeah, man. Well,
I think I think it's gonna be pretty straightforward though. I've got like a week off. Okay, let me rephrase that. I have as much time as I need off. It's just when I feel comfortable. So like the second week, I'll probably be working from home for a bit. But
oh yeah,
we'll see how it goes.
Wait,
now,
you're gonna get the surgery, and then like in 2 weeks you're gonna go back to work.
Yeah, so basically the surgeon. So first off, I'm. It's basically just an overnight stay. It's
Okay.
not. It's not a. It's rather strange. So the first surgeon or the first urologist rather that we talked to, he literally was just he was old. He was old as fuck. First off, and the dude walks in with a cane, and I was like, okay, I'm not trying to be judgmental here, but I don't think you should be doing surgeries.
Did he have like a shaky hand and everything?
Well, I mean, yeah, the dude's like in his 80s, like it's clear, and then he's going through the whole thing. He's explaining. He's like, "Oh, by the way, I will not be doing your surgery. I haven't practiced in like 20 years." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, thank you for illuminating that."
Yeah.
But in the
He knew you were
process,
thinking about it.
I mean, he has to, right? Like, you know, he's just like, he's like, listen, I'm gonna do this with a shaky hand, and you know, we'll be just fine. There's a reason why we use robots now. I can't use these hands. But he was like, yeah, you're gonna be in the hospital for like 4 to 5 days, and all this stuff. And he's like, and you know, you'll go home after that. I get to the second surgeon. He's like, you're just gonna be in the hospital for one night. We're gonna make small incisions. You'll be fine. He's like, the only problem, and fully expected when he said this, he's like, because you're so overweight, it's gonna take a little bit longer for me to do this. He's like, so you just might be out longer. And I was like, all right. I mean, well, listen, I get it. I mean, the first time, the last time I was supposed to have surgery in a ambulatory center, which is not the same as a hospital. And the ambulatory center, I get there, ready to do the surgery. I'm sitting on the thing. Guy comes over and he's like, yeah, we're going to have to cancel your surgery. I was like, what the fuck? Why? He's like, you weigh too much, and if there's any complications, we can't do a blood transfusion here. So you're going to have to do a surgery at a hospital. I was like,
I had something like that.
cool.
Happen.
Yeah. I was like, cool. So yeah, that was fun.
Yeah,
Also,
sounds like a rip roaring time.
The night before
God.
surgery, pro tip, do not go crazy. And when I say like crazy, like obviously probably not a good idea to drink alcohol the night before. But don't go crazy with like eating a whole pizza or something stupid like that.
Yeah, aren't you supposed to
okay.
not eat?
So after midnight typically is when you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
But just know that anything that you eat, it takes several hours to filter out of your system. So anything that could raise your blood pressure, all that jazz. This has been a very educational podcast.
It has been. Real quick, and we can end it on this if you want to, but real quick. Y'all see Tommy Lee's dick on Instagram this morning?
What the
Oh,
fuck?
for God's
Is that what
sake.
that was about?
Oh man, homeboy full on just shared a picture of his dick just on his Instagram page.
So
Just
was
reminding
it
us all.
was it a cry for attention?
I don't know. You know, have you? So probably not. But so Motley Crue is on tour right now.
I had no
Right.
idea.
Motley Crue is on tour right now. There was going to be this big tour in early 2020 with Motley Crue and Poison and yada yada, all the other dipshit like hair metal bands. And so it obviously got postponed, and then they were like, well, we're going to do it in 2021, and then it got postponed again. And it kept getting postponed earlier this year because Vince Neil Vince Neil can't sing anymore. If you want to watch something hilarious, watch live footage of Motley Crue from like 2015 and beyond. It's utter nonsense. It's utter nonsense. Mick Mars, the guitar player, can barely fucking walk. It's sad. It makes Ozzy look like a young buck, you know. But in the very first show, I guess Tommy Lee like broke a rib playing drums.
Sounds about right.
And so they had to he had to leave the show and have their back like a tech fill in for the rest of the songs. Then apparently he got caught using a backing tape and was just kind of up there doing a fake thing, just drumming. And then he apparently has just left the tour. He just was like, fuck it, I can't do it anymore. And then today he shared a picture of his fucking giant dick.
Wonderful.
What the hell? And the craziest thing I saw today was the current day Guns N' Roses Slash and oh boy, I forget his name.
Axl.
Freaking Axl Rose. Axl Rose playing live in concert, and it's just the weirdest looking thing. And Axl Rose goes like,
oh man, that is another reason why I don't care to see the new Thor movie. I hate Guns N' Roses, and I know I'm gonna hear Guns N' Roses the whole movie.
I had to fight it to send you that TikTok. I was like, I'm gonna do it. And I was like, no, I can't. That's gonna ruin his day.
Oh, it made me laugh.
I don't know, man.
But yeah. Maybe Tommy Lee's dick can give you a new kidney.
It's probably got to.
God damn. You sure he just doesn't have testicular cancer this entire time?
I mean, because that shit ain't in his testicles.
Well, that's true.
That
we know
curious.
of. Oh no, Jen.
I got curious, and so I was like, I wonder, because I heard about it secondhand. And I'm like, where in the world could I find this? And so I went to a hive of cesspool and villainy.
4chan.
So that was that was gonna be the next place I went to. I just went to Twitter, and it's just all over Twitter.
Jesus Christ. Oh wait, so you're saying you didn't see this in real time?
No, I didn't.
Okay. So your morbid curiosity, you're like, well, I kind of want to see the fucking dick.
It wasn't morbid. It was just fascination.
Oh.
Is it what I remember it being?
I mean, how?
What you remember it being.
Hey, yes.
Y'all didn't pass around that VHS tape in junior high school?
No.
No, that was just me.
No, dude.
And my friends.
No, back then it was Winamp.
Oh, you're younger than me. That's why.
No, you didn't know about Winamp?
No, I knew about Winamp. You had to fucking.
You knew about the Winamp.
Skin?
No. Yes, you are thinking of the correct thing. Winamp had what I can best equate it to be live video shows, kind of like a live radio shows.
No way, really?
Yeah. So, and there's several porn shows on there.
I had no idea.
But basically,
does the current iteration of Winamp do this?
I mean, I guess let's find out.
Show me these channels.
Winamp download.
Disgusting.
Just need to stay away from these.
So I know where to stay away from these.
So this is turning into Always Sunny. It's like, yeah, but how? Just tell me where it could possibly be, so I know what to avoid. I mean, the Winamp website is just not loading. Oh, there it goes. It's talking about things that I don't care about.
It probably doesn't then.
I'm just gonna type in.
Who's catch my live show on Winamp?
Oh yeah, okay. So there's actually a whole Reddit thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it basically it's like they would stream adult movies through Winamp. God damn. It's just I'm trying to remember like where it was. But basically it was they had oh, I remember what it was. So they had just like normal radio stations that you could listen to, and occasionally they would have a person who was like DJing live.
Uh-huh.
So you could watch those. You could literally just host your own show. So it's almost like you were live streaming this to YouTube today.
Okay.
And you would just basically double click, tune into that feed, and it would just be porn videos. Just all the time. Now,
I had no idea.
you couldn't fast forward. Like, obviously, it was just like YouTube Live. You couldn't even go backwards. It was only what was showing at the time.
I had no idea that existed.
Mm-hmm.
Neither did I.
The more you know. I mean, it was quicker than like trying to download anything, like on LimeWire.
I remember. Okay, we can end the show with this. Do you remember the first time you ever looked at internet porn?
Yes.
I do too.
It was a tape that I found at my parents' house.
Oh, it was. Wait, well, no, internet porn.
Oh wait, are you asking like if I remember the very first one that I watched?
No. Do you remember like looking up internet porn, like, and what you searched for?
Kind of. It was like 2000. Oh man, I don't even know what the year. It would have probably been about 2003.
Yeah. I just remember. I remember looking up on Yahoo Playboy.
I think that was my move as well.
And then like immediately remembering, because I guess I didn't remember, like immediately remembering like, oh my god, the history is saved. And I remember my mom was at the grocery store, and the second she came home, I come running out of the house crying.
Oh no.
And she's like, what's wrong? And she thought like my fucking sister was dead or something. And I was like, I looked up Playboy on the computer.
You sold yourself out.
Wait, you didn't take an opportunity to try to delete it yourself? You're like, oh,
I had no idea.
Oh man,
I went to two websites.
Okay.
Two websites at that point in my life. One was some Flash Games thing.
Yeah.
And the other one, and I'm not even joking, was WWF.com.
I mean, I used to go to Newgrounds a lot back in those days.
But this is even pre-Newgrounds. This is like 99.
Newgrounds was around since then, though.
Well, pre me going to junior high and meeting people that would corrupt me forever.
I mean, that's fair.
I mean, because dude, I was like, I remember there was a TikTok trend recently where people were like, "Oh, I'm unsupervised on the internet," and they're like it's supposed to be like, "What awful shit did you watch?" And everybody was like, "Newgrounds."
Oh yeah.
I'm like, bitch, I went to Rotten.com. Like,
is that still a thing?
No, you cannot. It's on internet's
archive history.
Yeah, but it is.
Oh my god, this website is still updated.
What website?
Newgrounds.
Oh yeah,
like so it's still. Oh fuck that website! I hated that website because I found out that he literally just like stole things from other people and slapped his logo on there.
Oh yeah, of course.
I mean, yeah, but I had ethics even back then, apparently. as I pirated things like Constantine in 4 fucking parts. Because
did you ever this would have probably been around your senior year of high school. Did you ever watch like Smosh pre YouTube or anything?
Yeah.
Same.
Well, I remember actually going on YouTube for the first time. Like I remember I was actually in my parents' living room when I pulled it up for the very first time, and I didn't fucking understand it. Like I literally looked at it and I was like, "Is this just?" Because to me, it was just videos of people uploading videos of themselves to the site.
And that's what it was. Doing stupid shit. Yeah.
But no, not even stupid shit. It was just they would just be like talking about things.
Oh, that I call that stupid shit.
And fair, but like, I don't think anyone really started to do it like sketches or like they didn't really
Smosh.
understand the potential for a while. I didn't even. Smosh is a recent thing for me.
Oh my god, Smosh was the first, like, it was on the front page of YouTube for the first several years. It was something that they were the first one to hit like 1 million subscribers. They were the first page to do it. I remember the very first YouTube video I ever watched was a Smosh video. And it was because my friend told me to watch it.
Well, it's one of those things where, like, back then, the video quality of cameras was just garbage.
Yeah.
Like, if you watch the very first YouTube video ever,
it's just the dude at the zoo, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And it's 19 seconds.
Yeah.
All right, so here we are.
But it's just one of those, like, it's even on Wikipedia. It has like a full description of like, here we are in front of the elephants. And they have really, really long trunks, and that's cool. And that's pretty much all there is to say. That's it.
Yeah.
It's incredible to me. Like that's where it started.
Mm-hmm. If you like old internet, watch the music video for "Pork and Beans" by Weezer.
I mean, I was remembering earlier today the Ultimate Showdown of Ultimate Destiny. I don't know if you've all ever seen that before.
I do remember that. Yes, that is old.
Because someone was talking, like, coworker was like, "Man, what if Mr. Rogers was like the ultimate like superhero or something?" I was like, "Well, actually, that's already been proven to be true." And they were kind of staring at me. Like I was explaining to them, I was like, "Yeah, it's this cartoon like music video, and like Optimus Prime fights Indiana Jones, and it gets like really bloody." And I was like, "Hey, do you know who fucking wins? It's spoiler. It's fucking Mr. Rogers." They were just kind of like, "Oh, okay, Geoff. All right." I'm like, man, my age is fucking showing. It's funny because I actually, at one point, was supposed to be part of a Newgrounds collaboration. Like, I was actually doing Flash animation back in the day.
Oh, really?
I wasn't very good at it. Like, not as good as some of the shit that I'm looking at right now.
Pico's school.
Yeah.
Not a game you can make in 2022.
Well, I'm actually kind of curious if there's... see, I don't know if I go here... Okay, popular of all time. Ultimate Showdown is on there. Metal Gear Awesome.
I remember Metal Gear Awesome.
Dad's Home.
That sounds familiar.
Oh yeah, Dad's Home was pretty fucking classic.
Let's go to newgrounds.com for the first time.
It looks like they found a way to convert a lot of the older videos.
Oh, good for them.
Oh, Madness. Do you remember Madness?
I'd have to see it.
It's like a face with like a cross on it. It's in black and white. It's like really close to like Zio.
Oh, okay, yes. Mm-hmm.
Damn. Oh, and Legendary Frog, motherfucker. Animator versus animation. Some of these are just so classic. Retarded animal babies.
Oh, yes.
Oh, no.
I remember that. Oh, my God.
Charlie the Unicorn. I feel like a lot of these were just eventually like YouTube just got ported to YouTube, and then that's when it really started to.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fucking Cyanide and Happiness was on here first.
Oh, that's Alyssa's shit. She loves that.
The beer run episode.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Man. Tank Man. Goddamn. All right. Well, anyways.
Yeah, Andrew had to put the baby down.
I think that's probably a good spot for us to end tonight. You all have a great evening. We have a couple shows this weekend. I apologize. I don't remember who is on where now. I think Andrew and Arfley Eris I have swapped days. Monday we'll be doing the normal stream. Wednesday we will be doing our regular stream. The week after I am on vacation. I think I can do. Hey Buster, how's it going? We're actually just about to end. I'm sorry, bud.
Oh, bummer.
Wednesday I will probably be on for our stream, and it might be short because I gotta fly out to Orlando the next day pretty early.
Oof.
At 7 o'clock in the morning.
Oof. Oof.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right, man. Just remember, everybody, we all love you.
You all have a great night.